Hello everyone. In this topic, I will be taking up the explanation of Ginong's photometer. Very important topic because it comes as a structural question also, and many one-word questions also come from this topic. Now, starting up with, first of all, we must know what is a Ginong's photometer and why is it, for what it is used. Ginong's photometer, it is an instrument which is used to measure the rate of transpiration. Okay, it measures that what is the amount of transpiration taking place. When we see the structure of a Ginong's photometer, what do we observe? It's like, it's a structure which is like, it is set up in the laboratories and it is being demonstrated to the children in the labs. The process of transpiration, the readings are being taken and they are recorded. The experiment, full experiment, it is there in class plus 2 also, class 12 what you say. Now what do we have? We have a twig here, but the twig should have leaves because we are going to explain the process of transpiration. Transpiration occurs through leaves. So it's important to have these leaves here. Here we have a reservoir which contains water. Then we have a scale here. Okay, and this reservoir, it has a knob here. Okay, now this is attached with a clamp stand that I am not going to make. I'll just explain you like this only. Now here what do we do? Here in this whole structure we have water, and in this beaker we have pink colored water, or you can say water which has potassium permanganate dissolved in it. Any colored water can be taken, but normally the water which is taken here is pink. It is called the colored water, you can say. Don't write it as pink, you can write it's colored water, that will also suffice the purpose. Now, in this we implant a twig in a cork. Here we have water in this tube, and this is a beaker, this is a scale, and this is a reservoir. What is done in laboratories, I'll tell you first of all. They take the Ginong's photometer and plug in this cork with the twig, okay, and through the reservoir, open up the knob, and through the reservoir they start filling the tube. Okay, when this tube is filled, they turn off, and this reservoir is filled, they turn off the knob and they put a thumb here at the opening of the capillary here and insert it in the beaker and remove the thumb whenever it is there in the beaker inside the water. Why is it done so? Because once the lab attendant removes the thumb from the capillary, an air bubble is introduced in the capillary. To introduce one air bubble in the capillary, and then when one air bubble has been introduced, it takes this capillary with this thumb over the capillary, put it in the beaker and remove the thumb whenever the capillary enters the water, because when once it is in the water, no more air bubbles will enter inside the capillary tube. Once which is there, it will remain there, but the others won't enter. Okay, this is a very important tedious part which is very difficult to perform. It's like trick and do again and do again. It's your luck by chance. When the one air bubble is there, your setup is done. Okay, you keep it like this and untouched for a while, like for 2 hours, depending on the readings you are going to take. Like if you are taking readings after every 2 hours or 3 hours, you have to keep it undisturbed. Now what will happen here? The leaves are going to transpire now. The leaves will transpire the water. Water will be taken up from the capillary tube, and as the water is being taken up, this colored water will start rising in the tube. Due to the suction force created, simple, it will start rising in the capillary tube. And this air bubble is going to give us the position where, position over the scale to take the reading. Okay. The other thing which is done by this air bubble is to differentiate or demarcate between the colored water and the plain water. Okay, it helps her to differentiate between colored and the plain water, because जहाँ air bubble है उसके इस side plain water है and the other side there is the colored water. Now this air bubble will also start moving. Suppose when we took the first reading, air bubble was here. This is our first reading. Then after 2 hours again we are taking the reading, the air bubble is here. This is our second reading. Okay, after second reading, the scale is going to finish up here now. So what will be done? The reservoir will be filled, the knob will be opened and the water in the reservoir will be given to the capillary again, and it will, when the water, this air bubble will move till here, starting of the scale, this reservoir knob will be closed. Okay, so the air bubble will again reach here. Again after 2 hours we'll take the reading. Then the reading, how many readings we want, that depends on that. But how many times do we have to fill the reservoir? Okay. Now this was how the process of transpiration is being calculated by the use of Genong's photometer. Some of the questions which are related to it, I'll be discussing it here. Now, first question is, what are the limitations of this Genong's photometer? That is, nowadays it is not frequently used. The reason behind this is that, one, the twig which is placed here, it will not remain alive for a longer period of time. Hence, it will die after a while and transpiration will stop. So the process will stop. Second, this introduction of this air bubble, as I told you, is very, very difficult. So it becomes a kind of limitation for the setup of the apparatus. Okay, these are certain reasons, and the atmospheric conditions also change after a while. So that also is a condition due to which the use of Genong's photometer is not so frequent. These are certain limitations of Genong's photometer. The next question related to it would be that what is the role of this reservoir? The answer is, the reservoir helps us to conduct the experiment throughout without disturbing the apparatus. Now when the bubble has moved here, we have to restart the experiment. We don't have, like, if we will again set up the apparatus, it will take hours to put in that air bubble again. So what is done here? Reservoir, so they put water and hence it is untouched and it is getting water also. This is the function of reservoir. It helps to continue the experiment without disturbing the apparatus. Next is, what is the purpose of scale? It helps us to take correct readings. Next is, what is the purpose of air bubble? Answers, it helps to demarcate between plain water and colored water and helps us to take correct readings, because we'll take the reading where the air bubble is underneath. जहाँ भी air bubble जिस reading के नीचे होगा हम वही वाली reading लेंगे. That will be more appropriate. Then, what is the use of colored water? The use of colored water is to calculate the amount of water transpired. जितना पानी ट्रांसपायर हुआ है उसकी कैलकुलेशन किस बेसिस पे होगी, that how much this colored water has moved. We are taking the reading of the air bubble, that is, we are taking the reading of the colored water. So what is the function of this colored water? It helps us to take the reading of, or to calculate the amount of water transpired. These were all the questions related to Genong's photometer, and I think you must have understood the topic. I've explained almost all the things which are related to Genong's photometer in this video. And for watching more videos, please do subscribe my channel so that you may get the notifications of all the further videos which I am going to upload. Thank you very much.